White smoke rose from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel, signaling to the world that a new pope had been chosen. Thousands of people gathered in St. Peter's Square, waiting in anticipation. Then, the announcement came. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle of the Philippines had been elected as the new leader of the Catholic Church. He would now be known as Pope Francis II. For the first time in centuries, the Church had a pope from Asia. It was a historic moment, filled with excitement and hope. As Pope Francis II stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, the crowd erupted in cheers. Flags from around the world waved in the air and people chanted his name. The energy in the square was electric. Strangers embraced, tears of joy streamed down faces, and a deep sense of unity filled the atmosphere. The Catholic Church had entered a new era, one that promised change, inclusivity, and hope. Pope Francis II was a man known for his humility, warmth, and deep spirituality. His election signaled a fresh start, a moment of renewal for the Church. He had spent his life serving the poor, advocating for justice and preaching the importance of love and kindness. Now, as the new pope, he carried the immense responsibility of leading over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. In his first address, Pope Francis II spoke with a gentle yet firm voice. "My brothers and sisters," he began, "let us walk together in faith, hope, and love." His words resonated through the square, touching the hearts of the faithful. He spoke about the challenges facing the world: poverty, inequality, conflict, and climate change. He urged the Church to be a voice for the voiceless, to stand with the poor, and to fight for justice. His speech was not just a formal address. It was a heartfelt plea from a leader who genuinely cared for his people. Pope Francis II emphasized the importance of peace and understanding. He spoke about the need to build bridges between different faiths, to encourage dialogue, and to promote unity. He made it clear that his papacy would focus on bringing people together, regardless of their background, nationality, or beliefs. "The Church is not a fortress," he declared. "It is a home for all, a place where everyone is welcome." His words were a beacon of hope for many who had felt excluded or marginalized. He called for greater acceptance and love, reminding everyone that the Church's mission was to serve, not to judge. His message was one of inclusivity, urging Catholics to open their hearts to all people no matter their circumstances. Pope Francis II's journey to the papacy was one of dedication and faith. Born and raised in the Philippines, he had witnessed the struggles of the poor firsthand. He was known for his compassion, his ability to connect with people, and his unwavering commitment to justice. As Archbishop of Manila, he worked tirelessly to help those in need. His leadership was marked by humility and service, qualities that made him beloved by many. Throughout his career, Pope Francis II had spoken out against corruption, greed, and social injustice. He was a strong advocate for environmental protection, urging people to take responsibility for the planet. He challenged world leaders to act with compassion and urgency, reminding them that the fate of humanity depended on their decisions. Now, as Pope, he vowed to continue this mission, using his influence to push for meaningful change. The world reacted to his election with a mix of excitement and hope. Catholics across the globe celebrated, seeing his leadership as a sign of renewal. Many believed that his focus on social justice, interfaith dialogue, and environmental protection would bring much-needed change to the Church. His emphasis on humility and service resonated with people of all backgrounds, making him a widely respected figure. Pope Francis II wasted no time in setting the tone for his papacy. He called for the Church to be more engaged with the world, to take action against suffering and injustice. He encouraged priests and bishops to be more connected with their communities, to listen to the needs of the people, and to lead with kindness. His vision was one of a more open, compassionate, and responsive Church. His approach to leadership was deeply rooted in his faith. He believed that the Church should not only preach love but also demonstrate it through actions. He reminded Catholics that their faith was not just about personal devotion, but also about helping others. He called on people to be instruments of peace, to work towards reconciliation and to show kindness in their daily lives. Pope Francis II also emphasized the importance of interfaith dialogue. He understood that the world was becoming more connected and that different religions needed to work together for the common good. He reached out to leaders of other faiths, promoting mutual respect and cooperation. His message was clear. Unity and peace were possible if people were willing to listen and understand one another. One of the key issues he addressed was the need for greater inclusivity within the Church. He spoke about the importance of welcoming all people regardless of their background or struggles. He reminded the faithful that Jesus himself embraced the outcasts and that the Church must follow his example. His words were a source of comfort for many who had felt rejected or misunderstood by religious institutions. Pope Francis II's election was not just a moment of joy. It was a turning point for the Catholic Church. His leadership promised a renewed focus on compassion, justice, and unity. He sought to inspire a new generation of Catholics to live out their faith with courage and purpose. His vision was one of a church that actively worked to make the world a better place. As he continued his speech, he urged Catholics to be agents of change. He encouraged them to stand up against injustice, to support those in need, and to be a light in the darkness. His words carried a sense of urgency, reminding everyone that the world needed more love, more kindness, and more hope. The historic moment of his coronation marked the beginning of a new chapter for the Catholic Church. It was a time of transition, a shift towards a more inclusive and engaged faith. People from different corners of the world watched with anticipation, eager to see how Pope Francis II would lead the Church into the future. As the sun set on this momentous day, the world held its breath waiting for what was to come. Pope Francis II had stepped into his role with a heart full of love and a vision full of hope. His journey was just beginning, but already he had touched the hearts of millions. His message was clear. The Church was entering a new era, one built on faith unity and a commitment to making the world a better place.